Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you saw in the previous video, we got lucky on our waterfowl hunt, and today I'm going to show you what I like to do with the duck and or goose. We didn't get any geese, but with the duck meat and how I like to cook it. And shit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In the last video, if you guys have followed along with me, we had a successful day duck hunting, and today I'm going to show you how I like to prepare my duck to eat. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Okay guys and gals, so what we're going to do first is we're going to take the breast meat and we're just going to first of all, as we're cutting it, we're going to watch for pellets, because there's nothing worse than dental work after a really good meal, so watch for pellets. And then all we're going to do is cut them into strips, about, I don't know, half an inch sort of. Just try to keep them uniform so that they cook evenly. So whatever you kind of decide is what you want to do with it, that's cool. But again, try to keep them uniform as you can, and it'll just cook a whole lot more smoothly for you. And anything you kind of trim off, save those. They make like really good little nuggets. So as you can see here, you can see where a pellet went through, so you're going to want to make sure there's no pellet in there or feathers. And just keep doing this. Take off that fat and that little bit of bloodshot stuff. Get rid of that. Now these little breasts are from the teal that we got, so they're already pretty small. So I'm not going to worry about cutting those up because they're only so thick, and we're just going to leave those whole. All right, we'll be back in a minute. On to the next step. Okay guys, one thing I forgot to mention is goose has like a silver skin, like or ducks have a silver skin just like venison or whatever, so you're going to want to trim that silver skin off too. So do that before you go to the next step. What I have here is a pretty basic recipe. I just find it works really well, especially for geese, ducks, that sort of thing. Now bear in mind that like any other recipe, this is just kind of a guideline. You can put whatever you want in there. You can add more of or take away something if you don't like it, or you think it's too much. So have some fun with it if you try this at home, and change it up if you want, but this is what I do. So I'm starting off with a half a cup of breadcrumbs, and the breadcrumbs I'm using today have like a Romano cheese in them. They're Italian breadcrumbs with Romano cheese. So, and to that I'm going to add 1/4 cup of Panko. I like adding that in because it gives it a little more crunch. Got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Salt is one of those ones that I always go light on in the beginning, because you can always add it at the table. If you put it in now and it's too much, pretty tough to take it out. So I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, just black pepper. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. And what paprika does is actually, when it cooks and it gets hot and it incorporates with everything, it adds a smoky flavor. So I like adding that. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic. I love garlic, but not a 1/2 cup worth. and I've got a full teaspoon of parsley. So we're going to mix that in. And that is going to be our coating for the duck meat. Okay. What we're going to do is just make a basic egg wash. I like to use cream. Some folks like to use milk. It's kind of an eyeball thing. I mean, the whole goal here is to, you're going to dip your meat into the egg wash, then into the crumbs. And I like to do a double dip. So it's good enough. And I had another plate out. So, into the egg wash, into our mixture, onto the plate. I'll do that with all of it, and then I'll recoat it, and then we'll be ready for the pan. Okay, so we've got our duck double dipped and our grease is good and hot, so we're just going to put it in there. And I like to do it, I don't want to overcook the duck, so once this is nice and golden brown, we should be pretty well there. Stay tuned. Okay. Now, taking our duck tenders out of the oil. I'm going to throw this stuff in real quick. Those are those little chunks that I was talking about. They're not going to take very long at all, so we'll do that. What I like to do is take a little bit of Parmesan cheese and just kind of sprinkle it over the top. And we're going to let that rest for a couple of minutes. And we'll be back. Okay, so here's our finished product. And before I dig into this, I wanted to give a big shout out to My Old Lady's Cooking Show. They kind of inspire me to keep doing these cooking videos. So I hope you enjoy my recipe as much as I enjoy their recipes. And I'll leave a link in the description to their channel. And I'll also leave the recipe in the description as well, so that you can try this at home. And that being said, I like to have a little sweet chili dipping sauce or plum sauce with mine to go with it. We'll make some French fries or something, salad, whatever you want. And don't need that when the food's this good. Remember, it's never a bad day to be more outdoors.